Good day to you one and all. It is I, Justin Hawkins, and this is Justin Hawkins Rides Again. Yeah, look at that lovely snazzy shirt he's got on there with all the spangly bits on it. I thought I'd better wear it because I've had it for a couple of years now and I just never really found the right moment. I always think it's going to damage the lining of whatever jacket I put over the top of it because of these sort of rhinestones, I suppose. So I never wear it unless it's like the perfect weather for it, or I'm in my house. And I've decided it should be my Justin Hawkins Rides Again shirt, don't you think? It's well snazzy, isn't it? Today, in much more important news, I'm going to be talking about Over Each Other by Linkin Park. Now, I'm not sure if I've ever reacted to a Linkin Park song before. I might have done, but they've never really been an artist that have been on my radar. Let's put it that way. So I'm quite excited to look at this and see what the fuss is all about. Justin Hawkins rides again. All right. Now, just pop the old... I brought the stand a little bit closer, so for safety purposes. Right, Over Each Other is the latest single taken from Linkin Park's forthcoming album, From Zero, the band's first full-length album since One More Light in 2017. And that was their last album before the death of Chester Bennington. It's the third to feature Emily Armstrong, who was announced as the band's new singer last month, alongside drummer Colin Britton, who took the place of founding member Rob Borden. And her new position didn't come without controversy, and this was something that I wanted to cover at the time, but I was prevented from doing so by a parasite cleanse that was much more demanding on my insides than I expected it to be. I was suffering, and it wasn't pretty. I had no control over my bowels whatsoever. Anyway, there was criticism from some fans and from members of Chester's family, including his mother and his son, who claimed that the new lineup had quietly erased my father's life and legacy in real time. Which I think that seems a bit harsh. The thing is, if I died, you know, first of all, I wouldn't want anybody to think of me any differently. Like those of you who dislike me, carry on disliking me. It doesn't matter if I'm dead. Why would I care? And those of you who appreciate the things I do, continue to appreciate them. But when it comes to my actual job, I would fully expect some other broadcasting legend to come in here and do David Dimbleby Rides Again, or David Dickinson Rides Again, or Mr. Tumble Rides Again, or, well, I don't care, you know, why does it matter? I mean, the thing is, if you've done the work and somebody else is continuing the tradition, you know, where would we be without the Brian Johnston era AC/DC? We wouldn't have songs like You Shook Me All Night Long, that's for sure. Or, you know, Thunderstruck. Or anything off Stiff Upper Lip, you know? I think when there's a collaborative project and somebody passes away, there's an obligation for the others to carry on. Queen with Adam Lambert, or with Paul Rodgers, or with whomever they go out with, you know, it's like there's members of that band that deserve the right to play the songs that they've contributed to whilst all members are alive and with us, and I don't think there's anything wrong with carrying on, really. Anyway, Mike Shinoda stated that this version of Linkin Park was not about erasing the past but starting a new chapter. I think that's quite a level-headed sentiment, actually, and more recently he's described feeling empowered with this new lineup. Alright, don't get carried away, and said they were weaving together the sonic touch points we've been known for while still exploring new ones. Well, that's good then, because I mean, I suppose you've got a choice in that instance. You can either just, you know, get somebody in who resembles either hourly or, you know, aesthetically somehow the person that's passed away, and then just warm over the earlier offerings and just play the old songs. But it seems like they're doing new stuff, which is, I don't know, it's always going to be controversial, but I think it's quite admirable. I fully endorse whomever the darkness chooses to replace me when my diarrhea becomes so explosive that I shit myself inside out. Anyway, it seems like the new ones are popular. Over Each Other had 2.4 million views in the last 17 hours. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to click on it, watch it, react to it. Maybe I'll play guitar along to it. I don't know what I'll do. Who knows? Let's just find out, shall we, together?
Again. This is the letter that I didn't write.
So there's a lovely little bit at the beginning where it goes like D minor. This is the letter that I didn't write. So it kind of, it's almost like country actually, isn't it, when you listen to that sort of melodic choice. And it's just going from a D minor to its relative major, which is F. There's 3 semitones difference between them. But it does something interesting after that, I've noticed. Looking for colour in the black and white. Oh, so yeah, it's not as simple as a na 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 F. I think it's an A. And then it's going to go to a B flat, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And back to the D minor. Oh, okay, so there's a bit that goes like, yeah, B flat, D minor, A. It's quite classic-y sounding, isn't it? Over each other, there's nothing underneath. It's cool that. So it's going from like B, B flat, B flat, B flat, D minor, D minor, D minor. I never really followed the work of Linkin Park. It wasn't something that interested me at the time. But I always thought it was kind of like bloke saying some stuff, bloke singing some stuff. But I think Emily seems to be covering all of these bases, and you know, she's obviously got loads of dynamic range in her voice. She sounds angry at times and sweet at others. It's all a waste of time. Oh! All we are is talking over each other. I like that. All we are is talking over each other, because that's actually a great line, because it's misleading, isn't it? Because when I looked up a title, I thought over each other. I thought that meant that the relationship was finished and you guys have both moved on, you know. But over each other is talking over each other. There's an artist that I admire greatly called John Grant, and he talks about, like, there's a song that he goes, that he describes how he interacts with his lover, and how he's basically just waiting for them to stop talking so that he can. And I love that kind of self-awareness when you're writing a song and you're sort of talking about your own faults in it, as opposed to listing your gripes and grievances with your partner. But this one is kind of like, I think both pro and antagonist in this are talking over each other and they're not getting anything done. It's ineffective communication. We're a minute in and I can already tell they should probably get some sort of couples counselling. I don't know. I think, I mean, I don't think I'm qualified to make a statement like this, but it is a departure from what you'd expect, you know, a traditional Linkin Park song to sound like. I mean, maybe I've just got like a one-dimensional mental image of what Linkin Park means and represents and how it sounds and looks and stuff. This is completely different to what I expected. Oh, I like that. I want to figure out that chord because it suddenly goes. It went to a C. Okay, so like all we are is talking. Now that. All we are is talking. It sort of goes. I don't know. For some reason, it sort of gives me an echo of a Bryan Adams song somewhere. Just keeps getting better. What's that song? Just keeps getting better. I don't know. It's kind of like it has an echo of a melody from something country. This is what I'm talking about. They've gone country somehow. They just happen to have like slightly country melodic choices, I think, in this particular song, which is surprising to me. I love that bit. All we are is talking. Video gets a bit dark here. There seems to be someone trapped in a car, and then there's paramedics and fire folk trying to extract her. I hope they get to her in time. And then I think she puts the twist on, so it goes from being talking over each other to are we over each other? Is this communication difficulty indicative of having emotionally withdrawn from the relationship itself? And wait a minute. So is the person singing, is that the ghost? And then the other one is... I don't know what's happening here. It's an expensive video, but it's confusing as well. Oh, she didn't make it. Oh. Well, that's just devastating. What happened to those old music videos, like when Wet 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 used to go somewhere like in Africa, and then they would, or in the Caribbean somewhere, and then they would just wear like a green t-shirt and dance on the beach? And what happened to like the kind of videos where, you know, Nick Berry might just be wearing like a white suit and then walking along next to a duck pond and everything's all sort of Vaseline lensed and smiling? What happened to that? It's everything's so dark right now, isn't it? I love it. I'm a goth now because my hair's dark, so this is great. Every loser wins. Anyway, let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. I was startled by it, genuinely startled, because, you know, with my limited to no knowledge of the work of Linkin Park, this still wasn't what I was expecting. And I have no idea what I was expecting. I'm just so confused right now. Educate me, please. I'm here for all of your comments, good and bad. Let me know where I'm going wrong, and I'll ignore those ones. And I'll just be really happy with the ones that are positive. I'm just joking. I can take criticism as long as it's constructive. Justin Hawkins writes again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Watch one of these two videos. And try not to talk over each other. It's not an effective way to communicate. Let them say their piece. And even if you're not listening, wait till they've stopped talking, and then you can start. All right, nice one, guys. See you on the ice. Okay.